In the last lecture, we created our first function. I want to examine that a little bit more. Let's copy func.c to call by value.c. And the reason for that name will become clear as I discuss the code. I alluded to it in the last lecture, but I want to go into more depth now. Okay, the key thing here is that when I call compute C to F with the parameter C, I'm calling this in a way that's denoted as call by value. That means that this C is not the same C as the C that's over here. It is a copy. And a way to prove that to ourselves is the following. Let's declare a temporary variable. Let temp equal this value. Let's then just arbitrarily redefine C to be 0. I have a missing parenthesis here. And then we return temp. Now if this C were the same C as this, then by resetting C to 0, that would mess up the for loop and we'd have problems. Let's see what happens when we compile the code. It runs just fine. What that indicates again is that this copy of C is entirely different than this copy of C, and that means that this function was called in a way that we denote by call by value. There's another way to do things that's denoted by call by reference, and we'll discuss that in a later lecture. The advantage, of course, to this is that because C is a local copy to this function, there's a couple of advantages. First of all, we can modify this without fear of modifying a similarly named variable in another function. And furthermore, this variable only has scope and only exists within this function. Once this function exits, this variable disappears again. Okay, let's end that very brief lecture.